30 days since the Kolkata rape and murder horror, protests and fight for justice get bigger. TMC Rajya Sabha MP Jawhar Sircar refutes Mamata Banerjee's conspiracy against Bengal charge.
My concern is the mainstream of the movement are boys and girls, mainly girls, women, common citizens. Yesterday, rickshawalas went out in a huge procession. The day before that, Swiggy boys gave up their hours of livelihood.
Jawhar Sircar calls out the caucus of corrupt at the hospital.
There is no doubt that there is a caucus of doctors. Within the first, second day, with my ears to the ground, I got all the names. And I verified the names from X, Y and Z and found, yes, this is correct.
Ex-TMC MP takes on the Mamata Banerjee government, and that's our top focus on India First. Trinamool Congress MP Jawhar Sircar has resigned both from Rajya Sabha and from active politics, citing his protest against the Mamata Banerjee-led Bengal government's handling of the Rajya Medical College rape and murder investigation. In a letter addressed to the TMC supremo, Jawhar Sircar voiced his concerns over the Bengal government's lack of decisive action against corruption.
Trinamool Congress is facing rising internal dissent. Amid massive anger over Kolkata's doctors' rape and murder at the Rajya hospital, Trinamool Congress's Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament Jawhar Sircar has resigned in protest over Mamata government's inaction in the horrifying crime. In a scathing letter to Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, Sircar, who's also a former CEO of the government broadcaster Prasar Bharati, slammed Mamata Banerjee for not intervening in the doctors' protest. In his resignation letter, he criticized the state government's delayed and insufficient punitive actions, noting that public outrage against Trinamool Congress is growing. Additionally, Sircar called out rampant corruption within its own party, accusing local TMC leaders of accumulating wealth without accountability.
In many states, we did not name them, but we know that state after state, political party after political party, MPs, MLAs are all accused of being totally corrupt. This disease has caught on in Bengal, and Bengal is not in a position to accept it. So please try to understand that the people of Bengal have been brought up in a different culture, and they are unable to stomach the amount of corruption they see all around.
TMC is taken aback by the sudden rebellion and has been on the back foot.
उनके ऊपर कोई कमेंट नहीं है और उनका जो कंटेंट है उसका कई जगह पे हम लोग भी सहमत है, लेकिन हम लोग का स्टैंड है इस टाइम में हम लोग पार्टी में रहकर दीदी के अंडर में, अभिषेक के अंडर में ये लड़ाई हम लोगों का भी लड़ाई है.
The BJP seized upon this internal blow to the TMC and accused West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and Kolkata Police Commissioner of allegedly destroying evidence linked to the RG Kaur case. The Bharatiya Janata Party also demanded the release of call records and even suggested a polygraph test for both to ensure transparency in the investigation.
If you go through the resignation letter of Mr. Jawhar Sircar, you will be knowing that he has resigned by giving the reason behind this resignation. One of them are this corruption, and as well as the mishandle of RG Kaur incident. We feel that this RG Kaur incident is nothing but it is a cover-up they have tried to cover up the whole corruption that is running in the system of the health ministry.
Meanwhile, the polygraph test of the primary accused in the case, Sanjay Roy, has added new layers to the investigation. Interestingly, during the test, Sanjay Roy denied any involvement in the rape and murder, maintaining his innocence. According to Roy, he fled after discovering the body of the victim lying in the hospital's seminar hall. Will the primary accused's sensational claim add more twist to the rape and murder investigation? Bureau Report, India Today.
So after 4 decades plus as a bureaucrat and 3 years as a member of parliament, Jawhar Sircar has chosen to resign from the Trinamool Congress as a member of parliament in Rajya Sabha and from politics after the Kolkata rape and murder case. But why has he chosen to resign and not remain in the temple of democracy to fight for what is right? Jawhar Sircar now joins me on this special broadcast. Sir, you grew up in Bengal. You know the place well. You were a bureaucrat for over 40 years and a TMC MP since 2021. Sir, you know the system. You are the system. Why did you decide to resign after the Kolkata rape and murder case?
Because the system is not listening to me.
Okay.
That's a brief answer.
So, you had urged Mamata Banerjee, the Chief Minister, to do something to save the state. What should she have done, sir?
See, this case has been handled very badly from day one. I wasn't here in day one. We were fighting in Parliament on the 9th of August. We had our problems with the government and the chairman and others that we had walked out. And you remember the 9th of August when Parliament was adjourned sine die, 3 days before time. Okay. So when I came back, I found that this thing had happened and this was so serious and everybody was up in arms. The first thing that struck me was that you go to the vortex, to the center of the problem and take stern action. Whenever you take stern action, you hit somebody, you hurt someone.
Right.
But administration is the art of taking timely action. As Modi is fond of saying, surgical strike, whatever we call it, to go in for timely action. This was not done. So I saw to my horror from the second or third day that people are saying that this principle is a chore. Government is replying that let's give him a prize posting. Arey, ye kya ho raha? So he was given a prize posting. The prize posting, hospital come college, college come hospital, National Medical College, they went up in arms saying we won't have it. So that becomes another problem.
Yes.
Then come stories that the protected or the, area of the crime was not properly cordoned off. Then comes his tale. So, they cascade into a whirlpool of disbelief, whirlpool of anger.
Okay.
And then on the 4th day, on the 14th night, there was this sudden thing called reclaim the night.
Yes.
Correct? Reclaim the night. And I went out for curiosity and found literally thousands and thousands and thousands of women out on the streets and certain men throughout the night and sheer anger. I have not seen such anger since my college days in politics. I have not seen such anger.
But
This was real anger.
But Mamata Banerjee sees this as a conspiracy against the state. You don't see this as a conspiracy against the state? This anger on the streets that you saw on Reclaim the Night?
Well, let me put it this way. There is always a lasting conspiracy against the state. After Modi got licked once, twice, there's always this sort of thing against the state. It's being economically starved. So she has her point. My point is different. There are two distinct things that we are tackling. One is this mass groundswell. That is not political. Who said so? I say so. How do you say? Because I have been there. I've been there. I'm not a Lok Sabha MP, but I am with the people. And as I've written, I'm a normal, ordinary, middle-class person who still walks to the market. Chalo. Now, I have seen this sort of a thing, and I was shocked. I have seen movements. I have seen movements from the 1959, 60 food movement that I have seen buses and trams being burnt. I have seen Mandal in Delhi. So, but I have not seen such spontaneous, sustained anger. That part, I'm sorry, I have disagreed with the party chief, and because I have disagreed, I have walked out. You don't disagree, fight within the party and then stay. There is no such party in India that puts up with people like that.
Okay.
So I've said you are wrong, madam. There is political fishing going on, and there are proofs that there are political elements, underground political elements, overground. Of course there are. Politics is all about taking opportunities. But the mainstream of the movement, my concern is the mainstream of the movement are boys and girls, mainly girls, women, common citizens. Yesterday, rickshawalas went out in a huge procession. The day before that, Swiggy boys gave up their hours of livelihood to take the Swiggy scooters and go out. I mean, it's almost infective what's happening in Bengal. It's 31 days now, 31 days, and it's happening non-stop.
You also
So we can't label it as a political challenge.
Okay.
That is my point on which I differed with my former party chief.
You refer to a caucus of corrupt doctors.
It's actually a warning to the party to wake up.
Okay. You said it's a warning, but you've also referred to a caucus of corrupt doctors. Sir, can you explain this caucus of corrupt doctors, and what did you expect the Mamata Banerjee government to do against this caucus?
See, there is no doubt that there is a caucus of doctors. I have not been in medical administration, but within the second day, with my ears to the ground, I got all the names. And I verified the names from X, Y, and Z and found, yes, this is correct. There's this group, it's called the North Bengal Doctors Group, because most of them are from North Bengal Medical College.
Okay.
They determine postings and transfers and lucrative things and all that. Now, that per se is not a very criminal thing. It happens in every place. Modi and Amit Shah decide which part of the Gujarat lobby will rule what. So this happens. They send their own person to UP to look over the chief minister. They send their own secretary from center to look after Yogi Adityanath. So this sort of thing, partisanship happens. But this partisanship has landed the government into deep, deep trouble. That's the difference. Deep trouble. And when you land up the government into deep trouble, the government has to take action. If you go on even half defensive, saying that ye bechara hai and all that, but you suffer.
Okay.
You suffer.
Now,
and my concern is that the only dam that's holding back the floodwaters of the BJP from taking over Bengal is the TMC. Agar TMC, if they behave like this, then there's nothing to save us from becoming one Vishwa Sarma more state, where everything is declared anti-Muslim, anti-this thing.
But
you
if
can't
I come
have
back,
this sort of thing.
I come
Bengal
back to
is
the
a sensitive
Kolkata
state.
rape and murder case for a moment, sir. Ye bechara hai. Who was being termed a bechara by the TMC? Is somebody being shielded? Is that your understanding, sir?
I think there are people who should be acted upon. I have been named the principal, even when I was in the party. I have named him on the third day, opened my Twitter handle, opened my Facebook, and you'll find I have said, suspend this fellow. I went on a short TV bite on the radio, on the mobile,
okay,
which they plastered on the ABP, Ananda, they plastered it on their TV, my voice, where I said, suspend this fellow. Suddenly I was told by certain people, you're breaking party discipline. Who are you to say? I said, I have said what I have said. Have you been in administration? You have not. I have been. So I have said. The party was liberal to the extent that didn't attack me on that score, but I was generally told by well-wishers ki aise ulte-seedhe statement mat kya karo. I said I stick by that. That if that fellow had been suspended instead of being rewarded, the movement would have collapsed by half. Why didn't you do it?
Now, this is not the first time. This is not the first time.
These are questions. I'm not anti-X and anti-Y. I am anti-communal. I will not allow communal casteist forces to take over Bengal.
Okay, but this is
Bengal
not
has
the
its
first
own
time,
problems,
sir.
economic problems, overcrowding, everything, employment problems. Don't bring in casteism, don't bring in, tribalism, don't bring in religion,
Okay,
and don't foul others.
this is not the first time that you've been told by well-wishers to keep quiet or not speak out of turn, because you'd referred to that alleged corruption against that former education minister of Bengal. You raised it within the party. What happened then? Because apparently you were heckled even then.
It happens. I was told, as I said, Mamata Banerjee went the whole hog in 21 when she asked me to join, against corrupt elements in the party. It's there. I mean, Google it and you'll find it, called the cut money scandal of
Cut
Bengal.
money scandal, absolutely.
She went and she took people to task, and then she won the elections, and after that she said, "Aap aaiye nazar aa." I said, "I'm not political." She said, "Nahi, phir aaiye. You must make your statements." Theek hai. I expected that she would be doing that. She may have done it, but the fact is that between 22 and 24, it's become worse. And it's not my measurement. I'm not there with the measuring tape. It's the people. The people. The girl who comes to work in my house, she says, now they're asking for money for this, now they're asking for money for that. The chaps I meet on the street say, sir, ek film likh dijiye, nahi to paisa mangenge. I said, ye kya ho raha yaar? Ye kya ho raha? This happens in certain other states. Some come up by the neighboring states, it happens like hell.
Okay, but
Bengal mein aise nahi hote.
okay, so you said corruption has become worse. Corruption has become worse in Bengal between 2022 and 24. If we were to refer to this Kolkata rape and murder case for a moment, the Chief Minister insists the police took timely action, the accused was arrested, but you don't believe that could stem this tide of people on the streets. Why are people still on the streets after more than 30 days, according to you, sir?
That is the issue. You are answering my question. You are answering the question itself. Whoever has told the Chief Minister that in this action is enough has not said the right thing. I say on record, at the cost of sounding impertinent, that if the principal had been suspended on the 13th, the day that I said, how can I say? Because I've been in administration. I know. I've taken action. I've got transferred. So you have to take action. The moment if you took action against the principal, half the steam would have gone.
Okay.
Half the steam would have gone.
Now,
just by transferring him on a reward posting was completely a strategic mistake. Complete strategic. I hope she gets out of this problem. I hope she goes in for course correction. But it wasn't a good thing to go through. And the amount of trouble we are going through now. Delhi may have a few candlelight processions and all that, and it's over with. But the ladies in Bengal, the women in Bengal are not relenting for a day. Even yesterday, last night also, they had some round somewhere. Hundreds and thousands of them out there. They are saying that ye Bengal ke abhaya is not Delhi ki nirbhaya. Bengal has this way of excessive expression to make its point felt.
okay.
Make its point felt.
Is that you're
And
doing
where it
as
will
a
lead,
son
I
of
don't.
Bengal? Is that what you're doing? Because you've also said you've committed political harakiri to bring them to their senses. Explain this,
Something
sir.
like that. I may have said it, something like that.
Explain.
Like
How
that.
are you committing political harakiri to bring them to their senses?
That's something like that. I could jolly well stay, make a statement, send a letter to the Chief Minister, keep it private, then take jhad from the people and say, ho raha, and sort of hold your breath and let the damn thing pass. Okay? If demonetization could have passed, everything will pass. But the memory of demonetization remains. No? Memory of demonetization remains. People are voting for Mamata Banerjee because by and large the people in Bengal don't want the communal forces to come. If today the BJP had been Atal Bihari Vajpayee's BJP, it would be a different game.
But it's not just corruption. It's also dadagiri that people are very upset about. Can you explain that, sir?
Yes, that is a factor. frankly, I feel that the Marxists were booted out because of Dadagiri. They reached the stage when their motorbike cadres would go from village to village, from mohalla to mohalla, saying, ye karo, go karo. And if somebody didn't listen, they would issue a boycott order. You know what a boycott order meant?
Yes.
It meant that if this group, this mohalla, this family refused to go to the Marxist line, the dadas would say, koi is ghar mein seva nahi karenge. Nobody will get into this house and do any favor. So the barber would be off, the dhobi would be off, all services would be off, the grocer would not supply stuff. It's a horrible thing, this sort of dadagiri. Now, I see a large section, a big section of the TMC fellows indulging in dadagiri. Same thing. I had seen it in the Marxist regime, same thing before they went. So they can rein in. You see, Mamata is a decisive leader. Mamata Banerjee is decisive. She can rein in. That's my point. She can still do it.
So what next for you, sir? What next for you? Will you now take to the streets? Will you take to the streets of Bengal now? Will you join the Reclaim the Night movement now? What is your next step?
As I said, I'm not very political and all that. I went to see the Reclaim the Night because it was the biggest procession in, one of the biggest processions or biggest demonstrations in Calcutta was about 10 minutes walk from my house.
Right.
I went to see it and I was shocked. I have controlled law and order, if I may use the term, as magistrate for many years, and I've been on the other side of the barricade.
Yes.
So we know which is provoked, which is emotional. And here I saw all people of all walks of life expressing sheer anger. I wanted to pass the voice back to them. I don't know what the intelligence fellows are passing and what photographs are passing. I wanted to pass it on and I hope it works. I hope it works.
Sir, for joining me here on India Today, many thanks.